The air in the kitchen hung heavy, like the house itself was holding its breath. My fingers dug into the edge of the counter, the chill of the granite biting through my skin. 30 years of marriage, 3 decades of laughter, mourning, and promises whispered in the dark, came crashing down in the seconds it took to read one message on her phone. Meet me tonight. Same place. Don't tell him. Each word burned into my brain, a blade twisting slow and deep. The screen's glow painted the room in betrayal. The world I'd built with Ellen splintered beneath me like glass underfoot. The ticking clock mocked me, steady, unbothered, while my pulse stumbled in chaos. I could still smell her coffee, the soft trace of vanilla creamer that used to comfort me. She was upstairs, humming, blissfully unaware of the storm rising below. How could she hum? How could she look me in the eye this morning, her hazel eyes warm and open, while hiding this? My knees gave way, the chair groaning under my weight as I sank. I wanted to scream, to crush the phone in my hands, but instead I sat there, drowning in questions that cut too deep to answer. The signs had been there, weeks of them, but I hadn't wanted to see. Her phone, always face down. The new password. The extra time in the bathroom. I'd explained them all away. 30 years teaches you trust so well it blinds you. The late nights. The yoga classes. The perfume from a lifetime ago. I'd been proud, foolishly proud, thinking she was rediscovering herself. Now every excuse tasted like ash. Her footsteps echoed down the stairs, each one winding the knot in my gut tighter. I stared at the phone still glowing in my hand, betrayal etched across it. I wanted to confront her, to force the truth from her lips. But fear, the fragile hope that maybe I was wrong, kept me frozen. Tom. Her voice floated into the kitchen, soft, familiar, tender. You okay down there? My throat burned. Yeah, I lied, forcing the word through the dryness. I set her phone back exactly where it was, my trembling hands shoved deep in my pockets. She stepped into the doorway, sunlight catching her auburn hair, her smile gentle. She wore the sweater I'd given her last Christmas, the one she said made her feel safe. The irony was cruel. You look pale, she said, tilting her head. Concern, or the performance of it, flickered across her eyes. Didn't sleep, I muttered, my gaze flicking toward her phone. Her eyes followed. Just for a heartbeat, her smile faltered, her hand twitching before she masked it again and poured herself coffee. I saw it, the crack in her calm. About what? She asked too lightly, feigning casual interest. Us, I said, the single word heavy with everything I hadn't said aloud. Her hand froze, coffee splashing over the counter. She laughed, the sound forced, wiping it up too quickly. Us. What's brought this on? She asked, smiling with her mouth but not her eyes. I could have ended it right there. Asked who he was. How long? Why? But I didn't. Not yet. I needed to know just how deep her lies ran. Just reflecting, I said, forcing a smile that hurt. 30 years is a long time. Her face softened. She crossed the room and laid a hand on my arm. That touch, once a lifeline, felt like a brand now. It is, she said softly. But they've been good years, haven't they? I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the message still burned in my mind, staining every shared memory, every quiet morning. Yeah, I whispered. They have. The day crawled by, every hour scraping against my nerves. I watched her move through the house, calm, composed, hiding in plain sight. At 6, she left for yoga, her gym bag slung over her shoulder, smile too bright, too rehearsed. I watched her car pull away, my heartbeat quickening with a decision I couldn't undo. I followed. The city pulsed with headlights and drizzle, my reflection fractured in every window I passed. Her silver sedan was easy to trace, her route too sure, too practiced. But she didn't go to the studio. She turned instead into the shadowed parking lot of a quiet bar I'd never noticed before. I parked across the street, rain streaking my windshield. My hands trembled against the steering wheel as I watched her step out, glancing around before disappearing inside. Every second dragged. Then a man appeared, dark jacket, rain sliding off his shoulders, and went in after her. I didn't need to see his face. Something inside me already knew. The next moments blurred. I was moving, crossing the street, shoving open the door. The air inside was stale with smoke and whiskey. A song hummed low from the jukebox. And there they were, her hand on his, heads close, laughing softly. My laugh. Ellen. My voice cut through the noise like glass breaking. Her head jerked up, her face pale. The man turned. His face was ordinary, but the guilt there was not. Tom, she breathed. I can explain. Don't. The word came sharp, final. I didn't wait for lies. I turned and walked out, the rain swallowing me whole. 30 years gone in 30 seconds. As I drove through the wet blur of city lights, tears stinging my eyes, I realized the cruelest twist wasn't her betrayal, it was mine. Because the man in that bar wasn't a stranger. He was my brother. And what they'd been hiding wasn't an affair, it was a surprise. A party for my retirement. A celebration of me. But the message, the secrecy, the silence, they'd already broken something that couldn't be mended. I'd seen her guilt and believed the worst. And in doing so, I'd destroyed what was